Welcome to our Dinner Party podcast. I'm Lindsay Jagger.
And I'm Keith Williams.
It's a podcast for pop culture moments and everything in between. So sit back and join us, why don't you? I feel like I did a different intro this week, but I was feeling it. Sit back and enjoy. It's a dinner party.
It's live, yeah.
Let's do it. All right, well, on today's podcast, we have a new gig alert for Tesla. Instagram making a small significant change. Starbucks dropped the Pumpkin Spiced Latte. Bayesion, unfortunately, some bodies have been found. We'll see how that goes. EVs don't make money, only in Ohio. A one-off Ford burnt to a crisp, and teen shows are out of control. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's dive in. But First, Keith, what are we drinking today?
Obviously, some sparkling ice.
Love it. I love mine. For anyone who's watching, the pink purple, it's giving me Taylor Swift vibes. I'm into it.
Oh, that's Taylor
Lover
Swift
area.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Era,
Not
these kind of
area.
match our microphones.
Oh, yeah.
Look at us.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, I'll let you know how black raspberry is.
Okay, I think Citrus Twist made an appearance last week.
Oh, yes. It is one of my favorites.
But,
I think we did it.
Almost synchronized. Very close.
I love the color of synchronicity.
Yeah, that was cool.
All right. Well, cheers to sparkling ice.
That's good. I was very thirsty.
Mine is tart. Yeah, we were literally saying before we started, like, we need to go because I need a drink.
Yeah. Got to set all this up and you just get thirsty.
I mean,
it's summer.
I need it. Mine actually tastes like the purple popsicle. Like, you know the popsicles that are like in the... That's exactly...
I still have them out.
They're so good. That's exactly what this sparkling ice tastes like. I have the sparkling ice caffeine, zero sugar with vitamins, antioxidants, black raspberry, 100% purple popsicle.
Sweet.
Love it. All right, let's get into it. So Tesla is hiring new people to train its humanoid robot, Optimus. Basically, what I'm picturing is that you wear one of these motion capture suits, so the thing that has like all the little sensors all over it, and they will kind of tell you what actions to do throughout the day to collect data. And they have a job description of the candidate that they're looking for. You have to be able to walk over 7 hours a day while carrying up to 30 pounds, stand between 5'7" and 5'11". So neither you or I can do this. We won't be getting new jobs. And you have to have the ability to sit, stand, walk, stoop, bend. Sorry, not bench. Probably bench, maybe. I bet. Bend, reach, crouch, and twist throughout the day. So if you are somewhat mobile and very average, you could work for Tesla.
Okay, so this isn't something you just do. You do it at a Tesla site.
I would have to think this is in...
If you're wearing the whole suit get up.
Yeah, you're not just like taking this home.
I thought it was just like...
I think you're a lab rat, right?
That's what it sounds like.
And then they have... Because he obviously has... Is it Neuralink?
Yeah.
Where he's implanted things into people's brains in order to help them if they've been paralyzed, correct?
Yes.
And so now this... it's going to train Optimus. Good old Optimus. Not to be confused with Optimus Prime. That feels like a lawsuit waiting to happen, by the way.
That's all I think about is Optimus Prime when I heard this.
Copyright infringement is going to get him. But maybe not. I don't know. So I assume that they're going to have these people be performing tasks inside like a lab, right?
Yeah. Sounds like it's just going to be...
Because how do those suits be, like, how are they powered? They have to be hooked up.
I think it's just the balls, the tennis balls, or whatever, the ping pong balls.
They like emit.
Yeah, I don't know if this is probably highly inaccurate, but it's just a suit, and then I think it's the cameras maybe that do
that pick up
the real work.
Like,
yeah.
I wonder what this robot will... Also, for someone who's like so concerned that the robots will take over the world, Elon Musk really is doing the most to get them there, right? Like it's going to be his robot that takes over the world. I don't know why he's so afraid. He's building it.
Yeah, me and my friends were just talking about robots yesterday. Like in the future, they're just gonna have like robot armies, like
We
in the future
should. We
movies.
need to stop killing people, and we can totally put forth robot armies. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm down for that's gonna make war so like removed. Like, you know how people are like, oh well, guns, because if you shoot somebody, you can't like really like you can be disconnected from murder. Now we're just gonna have wars all the time because we're gonna be disconnected from wars. We're like, meh, we lost 50 robots. Who cares? They
At,
don't have families.
at that point, you almost have to come up with another way of war.
Because that one's too boring, or
Well, I don't think it will.
it would still take a lot of resources because the robots would be a
It would.
resource
I mean,
same as people.
depends on if the robots are killing people.
This is very like World War II ultimatum, but the ultimate resource for any country is its people. And so removing that, it would be scary, I think, because you would still have to kill people, right?
Yeah.
Like to win wars, I think you have to kill people.
I think so. Which is crazy.
This is dark. This is
Yeah.
dark. Let's go back. So interesting to see that. Could you imagine being on LinkedIn and just seeing that job come across?
Oh yeah.
I want to know like who's applying. Like I just want to know. I want someone to come tell us if they have done the interview. I want to know what the interview process is. Is it literally like did they probably just like measure you up and say like yeah, nah?
Yeah.
Also
I walked
interesting
in
for the
and-
5'11" man makes me feel like you'd finally tell the truth about your height. You're not 6
Yeah.
foot. Would you finally just admit to being 5'11"?
Because like I'm gonna walk
tell
in.
me.
Maybe they just didn't have the budget for a taller suit.
And they were like, "We've got 3. They're
Yeah.
all a size medium." And they
Yeah.
were like, "Well, I guess
all
that's
got.
what we got to go with."
This is the Tesla company. We're poor.
Do you think this robot then is going to be between 5'7" and 5'11"? That's also just like not a lot
Oh.
of give. 5'7", 5'11". Now it didn't
Yeah.
specify, and maybe I need to go further into the job description. It didn't specify like male or female. But 5'7" to 5'11" could totally be either male or female. I would guess that's where a lot of people fall.
It's
in
equal
height,
opportunity,
for sure. A
gender,
DI approved
not
height.
height. Right. It's DI gender,
DI, gender safe,
not
not height safe.
I feel discriminated.
I mean, I'm 5'4", so same. I'm
Gonna-
like a good amount off. We are actually probably the same amount of inches off of being able to do this in either direction. Can we just sue now?
Yeah.
We'll just give it a go. Everybody sues Elon Musk. We are the least of his problems, but we could give it a go. Why
Anybody
not?
else who is outside of the range but wanted to
Wants to-
apply?
They'd probably tell us to like apply to another job at Tesla, and the other ones seem like they would require a lot of work. I
Yeah,
gotta say,
that's the only one I'm qualified for.
yeah, this
So-
is my opportunity to work at Tesla, and I had it taken away in bullet point number 2. So that's a rough day for me.
I wonder if they get an employee discount
On the suits or the cars or
on the cars.
Probably just the robot. I feel like you would just end up with a humanoid robot. You might get your own Optimus.
That'd be kind of cool though.
I'd be down. I'm
Yeah.
down for any Tesla discount. I'd be okay.
Yeah.
I know they get discounts even like in Austin, like the Four Seasons gives Tesla workers a discount, and that's
Oh.
got to be pretty sweet.
Cool.
I mean, it's Austin, Texas, but
It's
I'll
hot.
take it. You can go in the winter and it'll be fine. They've got some nice places in Austin. Good food, nice people,
Never been.
worth going.
Oh.
Love it.
I would like to go.
I love Texas. I lived there for a while. I lived in Dallas.
Big
Austin.
city.
Austin is it's a fun town to visit. I don't know if I would want to live in Austin, but it's got like I said, great food, good bars, lots of places to visit. They have some spas. You could they have a lot of like lakes, outdoor things. Like
Yeah.
there's plenty to do in Austin, is what I would say.
You know, it's crazy to me
And
that
you can keep it weird because that's their motto.
Oh, okay. Like I always thought it was weird that Houston's bigger than Dallas.
It is. If you have not been to Houston, it's a hugely because Texas is flat. It sprawls.
Yes.
It is wide. That city is
I've driven
giant.
the north to south,
Yeah,
and it just
it's horrifically
it goes forever,
yeah.
and it looks the same.
everywhere. I would guess. I honestly don't know what made Houston go. I would guess it's just because it's on the ocean or near a
Yeah.
waterfront. I feel like most of our cities, even though that's less of an issue now, still the ones that were built on waterfront seem to thrive more.
Yeah, they do. Because it's like what, the fourth largest city?
It
I
is.
think.
And I
Yeah.
think it's gaining a lot of ground on Chicago because so many people have left Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know what the ingress egress of Chicago is or up and down a population, but Houston's coming for it.
Tesla.
Here we go. All right. Next topic. Instagram is potentially doing away with squares and making the images on profile pages vertical rectangles. I have no idea what that means for our current state because every photo you posted is square. So I don't know if then you end up with like
Oh,
black
yeah.
top and bottom. But I kind of understand where they're coming from because everyone just takes their phone, takes a photo. The phone photo is obviously vertical rectangle.
Yeah.
So I think it's just trying to give you back some real estate in your photos.
Yeah, because sometimes you have a good picture and you go to upload it to Instagram and it just
Don't work.
doesn't fit in the square, and it's ruined.
I
The
know.
post is ruined.
The post is ruined. I think that's also what about stories? But stories are vertical
Yeah, I
because
think those are
reels are vertical.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're trying to get people to post to grid more because I would say I'm a big user of stories and not the grid. I post very little to the grid. It takes a lot for me to be and I hate posting to the grid now.
I noticed that's what a lot of the teenagers do now.
Just stories.
They only post stories.
Well, I'm really immature, so probably.
Mm.
I can speak for the teens of America.
Yeah.
I'm also just like super cool and like on trend. So
You might
don't
have
know.
started it.
Yeah, teenagers saw me and said that girl knows. She's also, I mean, I'm somebody who's had like a love-hate relationship with Instagram where you can just tell it's unhealthy for you. And having been a social media manager, I can tell you that it's unhealthy for you. And so I've definitely deleted it. And it's kind of sad because I wish I had certain memories still. But my grid as of, I mean, I probably started this Instagram account like 3 years ago, and my grid sucks. Like I can't have like 20 posts in 3 years because I'm such a stories person.
Well, you know that being an unhealthy relationship with Instagram just remind me. I was on Instagram earlier, watched a video. This girl set up a camera to see if her cat sleeps in the bed with her at night.
Okay.
And so like every hour it would just like show the cat would stay there.
Right.
And then at 4 a.m., she's on her phone scrolling through reels on Instagram and then goes back to bed and wakes up at like 11. And like I had to go to the comments because everybody's like, you slept till 11, but you had to get up at 4 a.m. to do it. An Instagram like reel.
Like she did that on purpose?
No, I
Or
don't know.
she just like woke up and was like, I
she
guess I'll
just-
go on Instagram
Yeah,
Reels.
she just woke up and was like, I guess I'll just go
Well,
to
she's
straight
a
to Instagram.
psycho for two reasons. Number one, waking up at 4 a.m. and sitting there for however long on social media. Like, go back to bed. It's 4 a.m. You
Yeah.
could probably wake up at 7 if you didn't wake up at 4 and mess up your body's internal clock, right?
Right.
But she's also a psycho because go on TikTok. What are you doing? like
Just
don't
addicted.
like go on. Just Reels is just TikTok, but 2 weeks later.
It sure is.
It really is.
Sure
Like, so
is.
if we're gonna waste time, let's at least be good about it.
I've gotten
know?
off TikTok.
Yeah, same. Because whew,
Because I started on Instagram and I see them. I'm like, and I just kind of stay there.
I don't watch
so I don't
Reels
open the other
anymore.
app.
I never watch Reels, and I've actually like cut back my TikTok because I feel like I did spend. It's like instead of watching TV, I was watching TikTok, and I just felt crazy for that, like crazy. And at some point in time too, I realized that I was so addicted. Like I'm watching videos, I'm like, man, my feed really sucks today. Not doing anything about it. Like I could just get off of TikTok. Like I was like, wait, I'm so addicted that I'm like unhappily scrolling.
Well,
Like basically I'm unamused, right? Because I'm looking for something funny and I'm getting
you just keep
tarot
going.
card readers. I don't, no offense to TikTok tarot card readers. That's totally
Yeah.
great. Some of that totally amuses me, but if that's not what I'm into that day and I want comedians and I can't find comedians, then I'm upset.
If it makes you feel better, it's if you think about it, it's kind of like YouTube. People who just watch YouTube. It's just on a smaller
It's true,
format.
and I do love YouTube.
Yeah,
Like that was definitely one of my favorite social media platforms for a while.
Oh
Was
yeah,
YouTube. I
yeah,
think that's why I don't know, but TikTok, that short form, it just gets you.
yeah. Because you don't have to pay attention that long,
No.
and
I just noticed that I was like disgruntled in using it, and I was like, girl, just don't use it.
yeah,
I don't know what my problem was, but it'll be interesting with this change. I feel like I actually am a good like litmus test for this sort of thing because I would post more to my to my grid if I could just take the photo and have it look good immediately on there. But stories, cuz I don't know, stories is just so easy. It also feels like less committal because now I look at it too as like my story is like this is fun, this is going on right now. I feel like a post needs to be like substantial, and honestly I hate most of my posts. And I feel like I'm like, is it supposed to be of me or like of the places? Like I don't know. I don't love posting photos of myself, but I'll do it because I'm like, I guess that like, is it me? Am I what belongs on my feed? Like, or on
well,
my
yeah.
on my grid? Is that should that be it? But what if I have like I do a lot of car things, and we'll get to that later. Like, I post a lot of photos of. I'd rather post photos of cars.
Like, you ever go back and look at your feed and you're like,
I think mine is
what was I
shit.
thinking when I
Shit.
did that?
Yeah.
Why did I post that?
I mean, mine's literally from only 3 years ago, and
Okay.
I think of that all the time. I feel like I delete posts all the time because I'm like, why? Like, I can't decide if I'm supposed to post myself or things. Like, can I just like it or I don't know, and like how professional or I just you know what? Instagram is hard. It's
Well,
hard. Like, what do you want it to be? Like, because I want no aesthetic, and then other times I'm like, oh, I want an aesthetic.
if you
And
go
now I
back
do.
to like my old original Facebook posts, they're the worst.
Ooh, I deleted Facebook in 2016, and Lord help me if like a Wayback Machine or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
what's the website that keeps everything on the internet?
I don't know, some kind of archive
Yeah,
thing.
like
Yeah.
I hope that the archive deletes things because I think the archive actually does. Like, I don't think it keeps it forever, ever.
Yeah.
And I hope my Facebook is gone because, and
Yeah.
my Twitter. Deleted Twitter in 2016 too.
Okay. You just were
I'm healthy. I'm a
cold
healthy
turkey.
girl. When people are like, hey, you shouldn't reach out to that person, I'm like, yeah, no duh. And I have no problem not reaching out to someone. I have no problem unfollowing people. The things I never think twice about, you'd be surprised. I feel like I'm like, as anxious as I can be about things, I'm someone who's very good at being like, and I will never think about this again. I don't know if that's healthy or if I just have a really bad memory though. Because it honestly could be number two. It honestly could.
Oh, I forget things all the time.
And I just don't pay attention to people. Like, I just don't. Not because I hate them, just because I don't pay attention. I got the short attention span. I got that short attention span that people talk
Which is
about.
why you're on TikTok.
Right. Now I'm on TikTok and I'm disgruntled about it. I need more comedians. Or like a comedian tarot reader.
Oh.
I'm going to duplicate it. Tell me a
I'll
joke.
say you can start a TikTok page where you're a comedian.
I could, but then you have to. I don't want to be famous. I don't want anybody. I don't need the popularity.
Okay. I mean,
I know I
sometimes-
said that from a podcast, but I
Yeah.
don't want to.
Sometimes I would get stuck watching the channels that open like baseball cards. So like,
Oh, okay, yeah, like that's very like I know a lot of kids that like to watch toys be opened.
okay, yeah. So like
Yeah.
people will buy the packs from the guy,
Yeah.
and then he opens them. Like it's very specific. They know like exactly if there's a special card, they know where in the pack it is, and they like count and they put them in the back so that way it's the last one and they reveal, and then
Yeah.
they like wrap it up and yeah. Sometimes I don't know why. I used to collect cards a lot, baseball cards. I was heavy baseball.
That's
card
like
collector.
I mean, yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, like you're into it. I don't think you can be a casual baseball card person. I think you
No,
have to be into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore. Actually, I have a coworker who he flips them.
Yeah.
So he like does all this. He's a data
Yeah,
analytics guy.
data guy.
So he
Big data guy.
big data guy.
You remember when Pokemon cards were a thing?
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like that's the same thing,
they're
except you can
expensive.
like play a game
They're
with it.
expensive now. Some of them,
Yeah,
like Pokemon cards, are crazy.
that's wild. So it was true when they told us if we didn't open those, we could make money.
Right. It's like
Dang.
as soon as I
Because the
heard
Beanie Babies went nowhere. I just want
no,
that to be known that, like, when they said, don't play with your Beanie Baby, it'll be
oh
worth
yeah,
something one day. Liars. Liars, all of them.
yeah,
They make great dog toys. No, they don't. Don't do that. But Pokemon cards, I guess, held
yeah.
up.
When I heard
Too
like how
bad.
much the original like ones were selling for, I immediately was like, where are all my old Pokemon cards? I couldn't find them.
Dang.
I know. I
Yeah.
could have been retired now.
I probably had some, but I don't know that I had anything that was, like, worth
Yeah.
it.
I don't think I did either, but I was gonna try.
That shit swept the nation, though. Lord knows.
Sure
Everybody
did.
had it. They're all, I mean, they were paper, so they're probably all decomposed. It's not decomposed. They're not flesh. They don't die.
Yeah. I
What's the
mean,
word? Biodegradable. They
by
degraded? I
yeah,
don't know. They're gone.
sure.
They gone. It's not plastic. Should have made them plastic. Could have went and found them.
Hmm.
Moving on. Guess what?
What?
Today, Starbucks dropped the pumpkin spice latte. It's
Oh.
back. It's basically spooky season. I feel like that signifies spooky season.
Yep.
So put out your Halloween decor.
It's here
Go find your
early.
treats. It is. This is actually the earliest release date of the pumpkin spice latte by 2 days, but it's the
Okay.
earliest in the treat's 21-year history. It's 21 years old this
Wow.
year.
It can drink.
Heck yeah.
In
It
the
can.
US, it can.
We can make, what would you, probably just like vodka, like a vanilla vodka with a pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would do that.
Yeah.
Or some like apple cinnamon whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm into it.
All
Let's
right. Next
drink
time
it.
we'll have some pumpkin spice with some vodka in it. Next time.
Yeah, we'll try.
We'll
I'm
try
be
it.
down for that. I'm a black coffee drinker. I like a pumpkin spice latte. I love it. Like, I get so stoked for PSL day.
Yeah.
I love it. I was living in Dallas. This is how committed I am. They did the cold brew PSL, or maybe it was just like,
Oh,
is it
I like
cold brew?
I like
Yeah, I think
the-
it was.
I like it when it's on tap.
Cold foam. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I literally, like, I walked it was literally 100 degrees in September, whenever it dropped this year. And I walked my butt over to Starbucks to get a ice cold pumpkin spice latte in 100-degree heat, because I was like,
Well, if it's ice,
I gotta do it.
Sounds good.
I gotta do. Also, it's like so hot in Dallas for so long anyway. So I was like, it's gonna be October 31st if I can maybe wear a sweatshirt in the morning. So I just gotta roll with the punches, and I iced my pumpkin spice latte. I'll take it iced. I'll take it hot. It's been cold. We've had ridiculously perfect weather in Indiana.
Oh, it's
Like
been-
this, we've basically had like the start of fall
Yeah,
this week.
That's probably
and so
why
I
they
was
dropped
like,
it.
do it. Yeah, they based that PSL drop off of the weather in Indiana.
Absolutely.
100%. And they nailed it. It's perfect. It's the perfect day.
It's gonna get hot next week though. We're back up in the 90s.
I don't want to do it. I want fall.
Me too.
And it's September. Like, it's time. September, like, we'll get rain. We'll get colder temperatures. It'll come.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm telling myself too that I have time to enjoy the PSL. Like, I
Yeah,
have through
they just gave you-
November.
They gave
Yeah,
that to you.
they did.
Starbucks let you have that extra time.
They did.
That's
Like,
so generous.
So I get that time. So I don't have to have it
Speaking-
next week, but I can.
Speaking of Starbucks though,
Okay.
did you hear about their new CEO?
From Chipotle.
Yeah.
Chipotle.
He's gonna travel 1,000 miles 3 times a week. Private jet
Okay, that's not bad. Okay.
to work because he's not gonna move there.
Oh, no. Fired. Red flag.
Yeah.
No, I know he's making buku money. His sign-on bonus was like a ridiculous amount, right? It was like
Yeah.
$113 million
Something
sign-on bonus.
stupid.
And here's the thing. He navigated a lot with Chipotle, from salmonella outbreaks to you get 3 pieces of chicken and 1 grain of rice in a bowl. Like, he navigated it all. It's not that I don't think he was a good hire, but the CEO price tags in this country are wild. The gap is so wild. I mean, like, we'll get to this also in another story, but the amount of billions of dollars a company can lose and be like, well, we're fine. But they can't pay certain positions more.
Right.
Sorry, but it's all bullshit now.
Yeah.
I beep.
Yeah.
Ready? You want to beat me?
Oh,
Ready?
maybe if I can. Oh, yep.
Beep. I said beep. Okay, wait, one more time. I'll say it. It's all now.
Oh, that was good.
Perfect.
That was good.
You nailed that. But it is. It like he's wild. You need to move. I think that's just absurd. I don't know where you live, probably Southern California, and you don't want to move to the Pacific Northwest, which honestly is really beautiful.
I
Now,
would
they
go.
do have an outrageous homeless problem or unhoused problem, depending how you want to say it. Um, it's really sad. But honestly, if you are CEO of a major company and certainly one of the standout companies in the Pacific Northwest, then I think it's also your duty to take care and take consideration of your immediate population. Like it's just a civil duty that larger corporations hold. I think Lilly's the biggest company I think in Indianapolis by far.
Yeah.
Eli Lilly pharmaceutical company. They have a civil duty to helping the people of Indianapolis because you're a big part of our economy. I do think larger corporations should bear that, not only taking care of their people, but in turn the
Yeah.
places that serve them because they are served in those communities, certainly.
Well, and Bill Gates needs another rich,
He needs a rich friend.
rich company. Is
He's
that where?
single now, right?
Oh yeah.
I think he had like a lady on the side because he seems like a really weird guy. But he is single. He probably needs friends. He needs he needs a wingman.
What's the Amazon guy? Does he live
Jeff
up there?
Bezos.
Doesn't he live up there too? Or
Probably
no?
not, because he bought a really big place in Beverly Hills, but I'm sure he
Oh.
does live there for tax purposes.
Okay.
Or Florida.
Yeah.
He definitely is living in a state without state income tax, wherever Jeff Bezos is. But yeah, how are they supposed to have like billionaire boys clubs if this guy might not be a billionaire though? He might just be really, really rich.
He just fly there, I
He's
guess.
just $1 million
I don't know
rich.
why I didn't think
He
of that
might be
before.
poor, actually. This guy, he's just a CEO. He didn't like start Starbucks. He's
true.
probably not cool enough to be in that group.
That's why he got the big bonus.
Yeah, but he's still like not rich. He's not $1 billion rich. He's not rich,
Yeah.
but wealthy.
And that's on him.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, this next story is really sad, but I have had to follow it because it's just so crazy. So a yacht called the Bayesion sank off the coast of Sicily on Monday. Basically, there was a really bad freak storm that capsized the boat. 15 people survived. The chef was found dead, and then 6 people were missing. This is the boat of autonomy founder Mike Lynch, who's considered Britain's Bill Gates. The Bayesian passengers were celebrating Lynch's acquittal in what the law firm representing him called one of Silicon Valley's biggest ever fraud cases. It was against HP or Hewlett Packard. They had accused Lynch of inflating the value of his company, Autonomy, before selling it to HP for $11 billion in June. In June, the 13-year case ended with the jury clearing him of any wrongdoing. Now, he did go on to have some financial issues after that. But it's really sad. I believe they found 5 bodies recently. I think it was him, one of his friends, their wives, and his daughter, I believe, are the 5 bodies that were missing. So I kind of have confusion because I don't know if the chef that had passed away, and I'm sorry I don't have his name, but the chef had passed away, and I don't know if there were 6 missing or 6 presumed dead, but they found 5 bodies. So they either found,
I think that's all the 6, because when I saw yesterday, it was 1 dead, 5 missing.
Okay. So that's the update.
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy, though, because they're celebrating him beating fraud charges, which also feels like a bit like...
Yeah, they're celebrating his freedom.
And Mother Nature took it away.
Yeah. It's one way or the other. It's all the freedom.
It's all that Mother Nature also gave him freedom.
Yeah.
Or I just... listen, karma, I don't know. It just feels very odd that it's like, hooray, you beat the fraud charges. Just kidding, death. Um, like,
And I saw a video.
I just don't know what to think about that. Like, what a crazy turn of events.
They must have all like got stuck inside and couldn't get out.
The way the story was presented, in the sense that like a freak storm happened and they assume a water spout, so tornado
Yeah.
on the water, like did glue the boat to the sea, which is then when like water quickly gets kind of taken on. And I don't know how the 15 other people escaped, and I also don't know if that's like the crew. Then kind of seems like only the passengers died, or like the guests. It
Yeah.
seems like the guests died, and I would have to guess most of those 15 people were crew. So also, where were the
Right.
crew and compared to because typically crew sleep below deck.
Yeah. Which I watch that show all the time, Below Deck.
There you go.
And so that's what I was thinking. Like, they weren't that far from shore. Like, there was a video.
Correct. They were like anchored.
Yeah. And you could see the boat right out there. So they must have just got stuck in their cabins or stuck somewhere where they couldn't get
Yeah.
out once they got filled with water.
I mean, they didn't have any details yet. And I think
Yeah.
obviously that's because the main priority was finding the missing individuals. Just really, really, really weird. I don't know. I am
Yeah.
halfway waiting for someone from HP to put out a statement
Well,
to be like,
was
we're so
it?
sorry.
There was like a big
they?
executive guy.
That put out a statement.
No,
On the
that,
boat. Yes.
yeah.
He was with Merrill Lynch.
Merrill
He was
Lynch. That was
aboard.
it.
I think he was on the board.
Yeah.
Who was a friend of his. I don't have that name, but yeah, there were, because it's like basically him, a friend, their wives, and his daughter all passed away. So really
yeah.
unfortunate, but just really bizarre to
The
be there
1-year-old made it.
celebrating something. The 1-year-old survived.
Yeah, because he was with Lynch's wife, the 1-year-old,
Oh.
and the wife survived. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. But Lynch did not survive.
Yeah. So I'm maybe thinking they were already like up on deck somewhere when it started,
be.
and they just maybe they fell in the water.
Maybe.
That would probably be.
But why would you be outside in a storm
Or they were.
trying to get off? Like get off
Yeah.
the boat?
Maybe they knew it was gonna.
She might have been
I don't know.
early riser with the baby.
Because I'm guessing if it's already tilting, you're not sleeping.
The baby could have woke up
Yeah.
and basically saved her life.
But obviously we don't know what happened because the video I saw,
No.
like you couldn't
No,
really see. It was too dark.
Right, yeah. I mean, just a really unfortunate situation, but it just, something doesn't sit right with me. It just seems really like odd timing for him to
Yeah.
pass away, to just beat fraud charges. Just seems really crazy. I'm not saying anything like sketchy happened, just like what happened.
Yeah. Just a weird coincidence, kind of.
Yeah.
That was your trip, and then this freak storm just.
And then your life got taken from you.
Yeah.
Like you kind of earned your freedom, and then it got
'Cause he was
snatched
on,
back
like-
in the most ultimate way.
He was on house arrest for like a year, I think.
Yeah,
last
I
year.
mean it was a pretty big deal because
Yeah.
it's fraud to the tune of billions.
I don't even know what
The fraud.
that company was on time. I don't know what they do.
I think it was just a software company. Just one of those. Got lucky. I mean, he is Britain's Bill Gates. And I just want to point out to the British people that our Bill Gates never had that happen. So
And he, made Microsoft the whole operating
So-
system. I don't know what this guy's
and
is.
some computers at
Yeah.
one point, tablets and surfaces.
So the Microsoft Zoom.
So maybe we don't call him Bill Gates. Well, now we call him dead, so I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway.
Yikes.
Dun-dun.
Right.
Should we segue out of that?
Yeah.
I made the joke. I'm moving on. But BT Dub, you have
Yeah.
a little note for me?
Yeah.
It's not a nightcap. It's a BT Dub by Keith.
Yeah. This is a new thing.
Making it happen.
I saw your best friend Ronaldo started a YouTube channel.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. I don't know why it took him so long, but
Is he still alive or like playing? I mean,
yeah,
still
yeah.
a
Well, he's definitely
active
alive.
player. He's definitely Weekend at Bernie's
Right,
YouTube
but,
channel.
He's still playing in Saudi Arabia.
He's got too much Botox. His face doesn't move. He looks
It's
Oh wow.
something. He started a YouTube channel. He is the fastest YouTuber to 1 million subscribers in under
Of course he
90
is.
minutes.
I still think if he and I walked down the same street in Indiana, more people would know who I was than he was.
You think so?
I really do.
I don't think
I
so.
think I would get
I
more
think
like, "Hey, girl."
I think you're underestimating Ronaldo.
Maybe you're underestimating me.
Oh, maybe. I
I
don't
don't feel
know.
like he's like US famous. Like he's not that famous. I think
Oh,
world around very famous. I just don't think US people like I think he can probably go to New York and like have certainly like groups of people maybe being like, "Oh, that's him." But I think the larger amount of
I don't
Americans are
know.
like, "Meh."
You go to any soccer game, there'll be kids or whatever. They'll be wearing Ronaldo jerseys.
But there are kids that wear jerseys that have no idea who that person is. Like
Okay.
it could just be like that's the one being sold. Like if there's you certainly don't know the rest of the team's names like in the US. You know what I mean? We have like a handful of people that have like Messi and him. I mean David Beckham back in the day. I mean just as an average American,
Yeah. Unless you're
who
like a real soccer
Neymar, I'm
fan.
trying to like name people. I'm just saying I think I am the average American when it comes to
Okay.
soccer. Maybe even
Train. Yeah,
it's the train
I was
coming
thinking
through.
about
I
the
went to
train.
Purdue, so
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
my Boilermakers coming through.
I was thinking, every time the train goes by, like people have to take a shot or just
Oh yeah, take a
something
shot. It's
cool.
the train.
We're gonna integrate the train into the show.
Yeah, I like it. We'll have to think about that. Nothing's coming to mind about
Okay.
like I'm trying to pair a train to a dinner party. I'm like, is there anything? Makes me honestly think of a little kid where I'm like, it's a choo choo. Here comes the bite.
Oh yeah. You're gonna feed somebody some knowledge.
And maybe
Um.
this is it. I'm gonna feed people knowledge that I think Ronaldo is just okay famous in the U.S.
Oh well.
Like I think who's like really famous right now
Where? Like in what?
in anything.
Anything?
Like more Americans know who Tom Brady is than Ronaldo.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Probably.
I just don't know that I even know what Neymar looks like. I need to throw that out there. I don't know what he looks like.
You just know the name.
Yeah, I just know the name.
Okay.
I do think I think Ronaldo is past his prime of
Oh yeah.
people knowing what he looks like in the US. He's probably a name. I think if we walked down Meridian together, more people are gonna know me.
Well,
Maybe not Meridian, but like I'll take him to Carmel or
I'll just
something. I
call
don't know.
him
Yeah.
Ronaldo. We got to settle
Hey,
a debate.
hey. Ugh, I just don't like him. He can have his YouTube channel. What does he even talk about?
I don't
What is
know.
he even talking about?
I don't know. I didn't.
Exactly. I don't need to know. I don't even know why I need to know about that man. I'm annoyed that I know about him. That's my My beef with my beef with
Uh-huh.
Ronaldo
Yeah.
is that I have to know about him.
He's got it. Yeah.
Like, oh, like you exist, so I need to know you exist. Stop it. Stop it.
He gave what's her name? Georgiana? Is that her?
I don't know. Who the hell's that?
That's his wife or
Well, why?
whatever.
Well, good. I'm glad I don't know somebody in his life.
She got every month she got a monthly stipend. This just came out too. I think she's gonna get like
He
100.
pays her.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's
okay, that I don't think that's bad because she probably can't work. Like, I would guess. Because I do recognize that he is famous. I'm assuming she can't, like, it's probably hard for her to work,
yeah. I don't know,
right?
but
I
she's
don't
getting
know.
like
She's got
couple
kids.
maybe 100 or 200,000 a month just to live on.
I mean, I'd take it, but.
So now you're a Ronaldo fan.
No, I don't
Oh.
want to marry. No, I would hate myself if I had to spend any amount of time. I just spent. This is me married to him. That would be it. If he's like filming his YouTube channel, it's just me in the corner, like, okay, all right, we're gonna make it through one more day.
Yeah, I don't know what he would.
I'm trying to get on the Bayesion.
You want to get on the Bayesion? Well,
I'm trying.
It's- not like right now. I mean,
well,
salvage team.
I mean, if I was having to deal with his dumbass, you just know.
I want a yacht though, or like a catamaran.
Catamaran's cool.
I wanna live on a catamaran.
That'd be fun. That's a very specific boat for anyone out there. It's like a kind of like I mean, is it a type of sailboat technically?
Yeah.
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 They're very cool, very big. Or they can be big. I guess they don't have to be. The
Yeah.
catamarans I think of are mostly like
Depends
giant,
on,
but they're very
depends on
cool.
what size. Yeah.
No, for sure. Listen, I'm just never gonna like him. And I realize that I have no reason to like him. But again, I also have no reason to know about him, and I'm annoyed. It just feels like he's like
Well,
that person that gets like shoved in your face. It's like I attempted to watch soccer once, and they were like, "Have you met this guy? You're supposed to like him because you're a woman." And I was like, "Why? Do I have to?"
because yeah, you don't have to.
No, I don't, and I certainly don't.
You should try
I should.
Premier League mornings or every Saturday. They got
You
Premier
know what
League
else
on.
I hate? I hate that they put. Is it the Premier League that comes on after football and Thanksgiving? Stop throwing that down my face too, or in my face too.
Soccer on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, exactly. It comes on after like all the football, or like there's like a channel that it comes on.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen
If
that.
it's not Thanksgiving, it's Christmas. It's one of the bigger days
Oh,
where we're
it might be
definitely watching
Christmas.
football, and for whatever reason, all of a sudden on one channel they throw on soccer, and I just
Christmas
can't.
soccer should be on before because they're
No,
in
there's
England.
definitely a situation where I've watched a football game and then boom, now it's soccer, and I just feel like that's rude.
Wait a minute.
I didn't sign up for that on an American. Well, Christmas is an American holiday, but
The only other thing I can think of
don't
is
like it.
it wasn't a holiday.
It is 100% a holiday.
It's
when I'm
when
doing
the
this.
NFL was playing in London, maybe.
No. It is for sure the Premier League. They air it after football games, like in between. Like there's definitely probably another football game, but you have to go switch the channel to find the next football game on cable. And I just don't like that they do it. It makes me feel like they're ruining the holiday. Don't put soccer on when I'm not expecting soccer. It's supposed to be a football game. I want to watch that football game. And don't put Ronaldo on.
Oh, they're not putting Ronaldo on.
Well, no, not now.
No, nobody's
Not
watching
now.
the Saudi League.
No.
I don't even know how to do it.
We might not get it because of war,
Yeah,
I would guess, or something.
Trex.
Elon Musk,
He probably watches it.
he probably has all the channels. You can't get the NASA channel anymore if you have like basic AT&T, by the way. I don't know if anybody was really into that, but you
Did you
can't
used
get
to
it
watch
anymore.
the NASA channel?
Well, when you flip around. No, I have watched the NASA channel once though.
Just like when they're doing launches.
Well, no.
Just-
it is just like the spaceship and the rockets are there,
Yeah.
and like it didn't take off. We went to Purdue, and Purdue does a lot with NASA. Our first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong,
Yeah.
Purdue grad.
You're just like, I'm loving me some NASA.
Yeah, so we just sat there because we were like, why do we have this channel? And we watched, and nothing happened. So I don't really know what goes on the NASA channel. That's the only time I've watched it, but I have watched the NASA channel. But I also got a notification that I don't get it anymore, so I couldn't if I wanted to.
So you were kind of bummed, but kind of not.
I'm like, oh, well, I liked that I had the opportunity
You
if
know
I
what?
wanted to.
Maybe.
See, and that's how I prefer. That is how I prefer my like information to come to. I want it there for me to go to, not like thrown at me. I don't want Premier League on when I'm trying to watch American football. I will go to it when I want to it. I don't want Ronaldo in my face ever. But if I wanted to, I will go find him.
Well, now you can.
No, I can't.
Because he's on YouTube. So
Great.
he did it for you when you want it.
I hope I do meet him one day because I'm just gonna. At least then I'd have a reason. I'd be like, okay, now I know you.
Yeah. And then you can have your famous off.
I probably would just like hate him. I probably just would at least have no emotion towards him if I actually met him.
Probably not.
I just find him to be like the most annoying celebrity. I'm like, but why? Why are we doing this? Why are we acting like this? Why do we have to be this famous? Why do I have to know who you are? Why am I supposed to? Why is he in the national zeitgeist?
He's no Messi.
No, I'm fine with him. I like him.
Messi
Remember
cared
when he
about
went?
America. He came here.
He went shopping at Publix. He is of the people. He's a Florida man now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That doesn't
Didn't see
sound-
that coming.
No, seems off brand, but
2023 bingo card was lit.
or is he just like a Miami guy?
No, he went to Publix. He's like a Florida man.
Oh.
Crazy. Crazier. New topic. EVs don't make money. electric vehicles don't make money. Ford is set to lose $5.5 billion. Everything's B today. Billion,
Wow.
billionaires.
We're
We're
talking big
talking
money.
billions today.
Oh yeah.
But they're set to lose $5.5 billion on electric vehicle sales. Now, this is completely separate from their gas cars, trucks, I guess I should say, and their hybrid models. I think those are both doing okay. But I was kind of blown away that, they can just throw away. I mean, they're they're not happy. Like, it's not good. I'm sure it is detrimental to the agency of their EV department to
Yeah.
lose $5.5 billion. But it's just crazy that they can lose that much. I believe I've also seen similar sentiments for like the Chevys and just kind of more the and Honda, Chevy and Honda, more of the like stereotypical passenger car um, companies. I've seen them struggle with EV sales, which is interesting when other companies seem to do well. Now, I haven't checked in on like Hyundai, Porsche, Mercedes, whoever else. I mean, Mercedes has done away with one of their electric vehicles. I just don't know where it's sitting. But hybrid cars seem to be king because I think people are willing to kind of dip their toe into the EV world. We also still don't have the power grid and structure really set up for everyone and their mother to go to an electric vehicle. So I don't blame people, but what a loss. $5.5 billion for Ford.
Yeah, and I think part of that has to do probably with the truck. I feel like the F-150.
The Maverick? Is that what it's called?
No, the Lightning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's the Maverick is actually a hybrid.
Oh, okay.
And then the Lightning is the full electric. I did test drive one once. They could have done better. I think what killed them on that was the battery. The range on that truck battery was
Well, 'cause
not
it's the
good.
truck.
Yeah, but like the one I test drove, it had like 83% or something like that when I got in it.
Yeah.
And it said I had like a 178-mile range. Like, that's not very good.
No, that's like what? I mean, if you're commuting,
Yeah.
you're like there and back,
And
and
then
that's it.
if
I
you
mean, I
want
guess you get
like
like one day.
the
of
long
commuting.
range battery, they want to charge like an extra 15, 20K. Like, that's just not gonna work.
Doable if you're like wealthy and committed to
Yeah.
having an electric truck.
Right. And I think maybe they just rushed it because they wanted to be the first
Yeah.
electric truck.
They saw those
Yeah.
drawings for the Cybertruck and said, "Well, we better get to it."
Because actually, I put a deposit down on the Silverado electric,
Nice.
and that's been 3 or 4 years ago.
Still
and
hasn't come.
Still haven't
Yeah.
heard it. I mean, I think they're starting to come out, but like
You haven't been reached out to about your
probably
deposit?
no, and they're probably like 40K more than what they told us they were going to be.
Ooh, that's a
So it's so big. I'm going to get my deposit back.
Yeah. That's a big miss on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I do think creation I think it's just harder than what some of them thought. I don't know if Tesla looked so good. And obviously, too, when government gets involved, we've seen a lot of mandates, especially over in Europe, about, I think, like 2025, I think it's coming up on it, of like having certain
Yeah. Certain
carbon
countries.
emissions cut. So it's a big deal. I don't love when it gets bureaucratic because then we're not taking the market. I don't know. I just think we're taking away some of the flexibility where maybe other options could be it. I don't think electric cars are the last phase of evolution for vehicles, but I think it certainly is. Like, I'm willing to buy that it's the next phase. We've had the internal combustion engine for quite some time now, right?
Yeah.
So I do like an EV. I love that we've also given them their own look. Like, for a
Mhm.
while, they really were lost. I give it to Elon Musk and Tesla. They made fuel efficient cars cool. They made them look good. He obviously made the electric car look great. They were super hideous before he kind of
Yeah.
did his thing. And I think that helped them get taken more seriously when they said, "Oh, no, it can sell. You just need to give it like a good package deal." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think they're awesome.
Big fan of honestly what Hyundai is doing. Every time I see their electric vehicles,
the Ioniq 6
they're
is
looking
awesome
good. And what a random company, honestly. to be what's like standing out. Also, just will
Kia's
forever
Kia's
be.
doing good too.
Yeah, I mean, those are two brands that at some point in time I would have laughed. I would have never
Yeah.
ever even considered looking at them. Like, if I want a knockoff Mazda, which is a knockoff Lexus, like maybe then I'll go to Kia, you know. But
Mhm.
their design team's crushing it, and certainly in that market, um, it'll be very interesting to see how it develops because these companies do eventually have to start making money. I think if I were them, I'd be putting definitely my stock into the hybrid. I think it's a great way to go, not only for the consumer, but for the companies that produce them as well.
But you think about the European countries. They're so much better set up for the infrastructure. Like I'll
Well,
see they have,
smaller and
yeah, they're
less people.
smaller. Like
And
you think about the UK, it's just an island.
well, it's six
So
hour round trip, right?
yeah,
Or is it
so
6 hours north to south? I don't think it's round trip, but north to south, it's 6 hours.
yeah, so it just makes it so much easier to put
Right.
charging stations everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, cause I've seen them. I don't know what country
Well,
it
I mean, your
was.
power grid has to handle those charging
Yeah,
stations. You
yeah,
can't just set up charging stations too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that's when solar comes in, and then the
Like a lot
batteries.
has to be manipulated for this to really, really grow to its full potential.
Yeah,
But I think it'd be worth exploring and seeing because I honestly anticipate that if we went down that road, we would just see more innovation in the automotive market, like for what an engine could be, charged with, fueled with,
well, and
whatever.
think
I
about
think
it
that's
this
the
way.
point,
Think
right?
about it this way. It's like we're at the beginning of the battery development.
Yeah.
When the cars first came out, they wouldn't go very fast. What, 35
Right.
miles an hour?
They literally were just like a horse carriage with an engine.
Yeah, so
Right.
like that was the first generation of those. That the batteries will get better,
Yeah.
and people will eventually all be like, okay, yeah, these are kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like gas stations didn't exist either,
Right.
right? Like those have it takes a lot. Like the whole market has to change. Not the whole market. A lot of the economy, honestly,
Hmm.
like other industries have to catch up or play along with what the automotive industry is doing right now. And it'll be really interesting to see because it will provide quite a shakeup.
Yeah.
We'll see new companies rise and old companies fall away, but it's just interesting. But I mean, the dollar drives everything, so they are going to eventually have to make money off of this,
Oh, yeah.
or else you will see a lot of government mandates and things get taken away, forgotten, waved off. Um, but the hybrid thing, I think, is quite a
Or
good halfway step.
if people want to even like get a little further, do the plug-in hybrid where
Yeah,
it lasts what 30 miles on the battery,
yeah,
and then if you need more, you got your gas.
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's a
Yeah,
good. They can get a touch for it because most people aren't driving more than 30 miles a day.
right.
So like that would work for your daily commuter.
Absolutely. And I think that's the big thing too is for US customers when you have someone so Chicago from Indianapolis, Chicago, that's 3 hours.
Yeah.
There are cars where and that's not, they don't have the range for electric vehicles originally. Like the OG Teslas couldn't make it Indianapolis to
Yeah.
Chicago, especially if you hit traffic. Now
Hmm.
they can.
Right.
And so we've seen some innovation there, but especially for like if somebody for whatever reason was doing that trip more frequently, like a hybrid's great right now for that.
Yeah, and that's where the high speed trains come in again. Where we were talking about those last week.
We need those now.
Because I just
Yesterday.
did a flight Indy to Chicago.
So annoying.
It's 35 minutes, but you spend more time
In the airport
at the
waiting.
airport. But I would much
It's-
rather do that than
trip
drive for
breaks-
3 hours.
Yeah, that trip also like breaks even, right? Because it's like, well, I can wait in the airport and do the whole thing, and that's probably 4 hours, maybe
Maybe.
3.5, right? It's like, but I'm probably 3.5 on the road. So you're just picking your poison.
Yeah.
You're definitely not saving. You're breaking even on time. Those are annoying. We definitely trains would be cool. Let's make it happen.
Well,
I know that's super expensive, but there are other things we could maybe not be doing.
yeah, and even like the hotel we stayed at, parking was $84 a night at the hotel.
Outrageous.
So I was there for 3 nights. That's more than my airplane ticket costs.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like,
Yeah, you save money.
yeah. I mean, you got to pay for an Uber, or you can take the
L.
The train, yeah, the
Yeah.
L over. But
They got some options.
yeah.
They got some options. We need more options. Um, Also in Ford news, I'm going to stick with
Oh.
our automotive. So I was recently out in California for Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. Concorsa d'Eleganza in Italian.
What's
It's
Concorsa mean?
Concorsa. It's just like well, Concours d'Elegance. It's the like competition of elegance.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I figured out the eleganza,
Yeah.
but
Competition of elegance.
okay.
And it is a competition for uh, actually new and historic cars. They had cars as early as I think 2024, 2023. I think they had some launches there. So
Oh,
new cars, old cars. You see cars of all kinds, wedge cars. I actually, for once, I saw a Cybertruck pulling a wedge vehicle, and it's never looked more right to me. I was like, oh, I get it now.
what's a wedge vehicle?
So a wedge vehicle are, I mean, they're built like a wedge. They're like super short,
Uh-huh.
like tiny, very aerodynamic kind of concept cars. And that's my storyline for today is a one-off of a Ford Probe. I'm going to say Gia, could be Gaia, burnt to a crisp after the show. So show went off without a hitch. Amazing. I think it's like a 1920 something Bugatti one. It actually, most of these cars are elegantly, sticking with that word, so demure, so elegant, restored. This Bugatti, that one had never been restored, ran, because that's part of the show too. They have to do a rally. I don't know how long the rally is, but they have to run. So amazing. The car that won was amazing, but this 1979 Ford made it through the show. It was in a trailer on its way back home when I I don't have the details. They haven't given details or found out why, but it burst into flames, burning it and the transporter down. Luckily, the Ford F-150 pulling it was totally unharmed, and so were the people inside. But really crazy because it's a one-off car. So this was it. It's
done.
gone. Ford unveiled the Probe 1 at the Frankfurt Motor Show in 1979. It was designed and built by Gaia Design House in Turin, Italy, and sported a slippery aerodynamic shape to boost fuel efficiency. Sorry. So again, kind of like a wedge car, but a prototype. At the time of its launch, Ford claimed that the concept had a drag coefficient of just 0.25 CD and could record 39 miles per gallon while traveling at 56 miles per hour. And that was back in 1979, where American cars were just guzzling gas like a child with a Slurpee.
Well, it
So
didn't
that's
cost anything back
crazy.
then. It was what, 50 cents probably?
No, we were in
79
like
cents?
79. We were in like the gas wars. Like fuel
Oh,
was like just as expensive as it is now, but you're making a paycheck of 79 cents an hour. It
really?
was horrendous. Yeah, no, fuel. We had fuel crisis back in the 70s. I don't know if 79, if they were out of it. I think they might have honestly been in the midst of it. So it would have been sick to have a car that got 39 miles per gallon while you're just like cruising around. But sad because it's lost forever. So kind of amazing that it at least made it into the show before, you know, gone for good. So Ford just taking L's left and right. Now, this was owned by kind of like a family operated company, it seemed. So it was, I don't know that I would say private, but it wasn't owned by the Ford Motor Company.
Yeah.
But it was a Ford nonetheless.
Did you see it in person?
I personally didn't make it over to that area, but I think I did see it in person because I spent a lot of time in a staging lot. So these cars have a very specifically kind of strange look. So I believe I saw it in person,
Okay.
but I don't want to say that I 100% did because honestly, by the pictures of I mean, it's like a shell now. That's all that's left. I also hope that they just keep the shell, like at least keep that. If it can be like somewhat intact,
Yeah.
save what you
Just
can.
Bring it back next year.
As a burnt.
Yeah.
I don't think they let you do this.
Oh.
Tis a competition of elegance.
It's not very elegant.
No, anti-elegance.
Yeah.
I think they would say no.
It's at a different car show, like same day, but a different car show down the street. Just like
Just pour that all over me. Anyway.
demo derby or something.
Oh, but that would be so mean. You don't want to demo derby it.
Oh,
That'd be so mean.
maybe it's just a museum.
I think you just like, yeah, definitely a museum. It could go back home to Detroit. It's going back home to the group that owns it.
Mm.
I have no idea what they'll do with it. Um, their quote was kind of like, "We're a family company, and we feel like we lost a member of the family. So R.I.P. and thoughts and prayers to that family."
Okay.
Um,
Sure, that's the same thing.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy that it'll be interesting to see if they find out what happened, like why it randomly combusted. Something had to have been turned on.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's some place for it to sit. Maybe they can do like in memorandum next year and say, to those in that thing we lost.
Yeah, you have
The
like a nice little
Ford Probe.
slideshow with the
Arms
sad song.
of
Yeah, you gotta have a sad
death.
song.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
think
cool.
so. Fondly remembered. I think there actually were kind of a couple more probes. This is just the like one off of this kind. So I think maybe schematically we haven't lost the total
Okay.
design. Because some of those really are like some of the concept cars truly are one of one. They are not made by a company named Ford, where they took a couple steps at different versions. I mean,
Yeah.
that was obviously the only version of itself, but kind of sad. It's weird that it's like it almost is kind of like a person. It's like you're one of one. When Keith
Yeah.
goes, Keith goes.
That's true. Because it was kind of
You
like
and this probe.
it was kind of random. Yeah. Me and this probe, I was just scrolling through Facebook and I saw that and I was like, hey, I think that's where Lindsay was at. So I sent it to you and yeah.
I didn't start the fire. I just wanted
No.
to get rid of those rumors, though. It wasn't me.
Yeah, you did tell me you didn't do it. So
Not nose goes.
right. I didn't do it. I wasn't there.
I didn't. I wasn't
So
near the fire.
between
I'll
the
tell
two
you that.
between the two of us.
2 down, a couple billion people on this planet to go.
Right.
That driver's looking real suspicious, though. Just saying. Because who else was around?
That'd be like a family murder though.
Well,
He wouldn't
most
do
often
that.
murderers are people that you know.
That's
Just
true.
saying.
Domestic violence. You
It-
don't joke about
Oh
it.
man, it is domestic. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So every topic has ended with a quite dark joke. So
Yeah.
on that note, moving on. I
Yeah.
have some fun things. As everyone knows, we are Midwest positive here, but Ohio negative. So
Right.
the-
As you should be.
yes. Ohio's like Board of Tourism kind of has like a motto or like a saying tagline, I guess is what I'll call it, of only in Ohio. The state ad campaign has now been picked up by the greater group of Gen Alpha, and they're using it as a slang for anything cringy or kind of like gives you the ick. So if someone does something weird where you're just like, I don't know, just like a foot in the mouth situation, like maybe you overhear someone just being like so awkward, like I would look at you and be like, only in Ohio.
Yeah. Or like my old Facebook posts.
Yeah, I would take one, repost, and put only in Ohio.
Yeah. Or when I said, domestic violence like 3 minutes ago.
Only in Ohio.
Yeah. Which goes and works two ways, I think.
So many ways
Yeah.
on it. Well, gosh, that one works too good. But
Mm.
I'm so pro this. I've never been more supportive of Gen Alpha and their like fun isms. Because we had like, I think millennials had a lot of stupid ones. Unfortunately, we had That's Hot and Tight and what else? Like,
We had all the good ones. What are you talking about?
yeah, let's bring back Tight. Tight.
I liked that one.
Gosh, I know I've got to be missing some good ones. I'm trying to think of like stupid sayings we
Is
had.
ours like the bomb? Is that one of ours?
I think we use that, but I feel like that's a bit like cool. Like I think somebody in the 80s said the bomb,
Yeah.
and like cool has stuck around,
You
and
know
that
what's
was definitely
ours?
like a
Ours is thebomb.com.
yeah,
'Cause
weird
they didn't
dot
have
com.
the dot
Yeah,
com.
what the crap's a .com? So ours
Right.
is definitely bomb.com.
Yeah.
That's hot. Tight. I don't think I could say tight and not like. I'm gonna try and use that now. I'm gonna try and bring that
Absolutely.
back. Tight.
Tight. I liked that one. I used it.
Epic. We were definitely epic. Which
Yeah.
is like quite literally most things are not epic. If you look
No.
at the exact definition of it, like not an epic in the slightest. Iliad and Odyssey,
And they're
but
not tight either.
no, no, no. Epic, petty. I think we used petty a lot.
Mm.
And I think we were the generation that got really into acronyms. LOL.
Oh yeah.
My BFF Jill, remember that commercial that like hit all the acronyms ever?
No.
LOML. There
Llama?
was like a commercial that was like LOL, my BFF Jill. And it just used all the acronyms. So I think we're also the generation that gave you the most annoying, like, what the crap are you saying? Because you have to know what everything says. Actually, I sent a bulleted list to this one I don't even know that is millennials, but maybe it is because I feel like we are the acronym kings of the planet. But I sent my CFO an email and just put like TLDR,
Yeah.
and it was like a bullet list of shortened things that had happened.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What is TLDR?"
Oh, come on.
I was like, "Too long, didn't read. Here's your recap."
Yeah, you got to know that.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I think millennials, we get that. But I'm super proud of Gen Alpha. Love that for Ohio. Love that.
Yeah,
Best of luck overcoming being the cringe state.
if you're, you know what's cringe? The cringiest thing about them is those Ohio State Buckeye fans.
Ugh,
Ugh.
okay. We get it. I mean, honestly, you've got like, what, 3 letters in your state? We get it. You can spell it.
Yeah,
Like, it shouldn't be that hard.
they have to keep repeating it so they don't forget.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I-O.
They love it.
Oh, yeah. Don't love that. Don't
Mm-mm.
love that.
No.
I have a weird memory in my head of being in Disney World when I was little, and we ran into a couple. I think they had like maybe been recently married. It was like my parents, and I was really young, and I don't know if I can't remember if they had kids. Maybe they did, but um, the man had noticed that we were from Indiana. I don't know what it was. Maybe we were talking about something, and he was like, "Oh, I'm originally from Indiana." And he was like, "Now I live in freaking Buckeye Land with my wife."
He hates
And
it.
I remember his wife literally being like, "Hey, like, oh my gosh, stop." And I don't know why I have that memory, but I just like, I think that was my little kid introduction of like, there's something wrong with Ohio.
Yeah.
Like, this random man hates it. And the wife was kind of like, oh my gosh, don't say it out loud.
She was so offended.
I think she was more just like, don't say it out loud. Like, only in Ohio.
They're
Like, don't
divorced
say it
now,
out
aren't
loud.
they? They're
For
probably divorced.
sure divorced.
Yeah.
Hey, sir, I hope you're doing well. I hope you move back home.
Yeah. He's probably around here somewhere.
Probably. I mean, honestly, of odds of like different cities, it's here or the region, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got 50-50 at this point.
I would almost bet he's within a 30-minute drive of us.
Hit
right
us
now.
up, son, if you're out there listening right now.
Yeah, it'd be super tight if you did.
It'd be sick.
Yeah.
Epic. Let us know if your marriage was only in Ohio.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got myself on that one.
Oh yeah, because you did the thing.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you
I
did.
got it. I nailed it 2 ways. If your
Nice.
marriage was only in Ohio.
Nice.
But nailed it.
I got that.
Nailed it. All right. Okay. I need to tell you, this is my BT dub. I watched one bad movie on Netflix. I restarted Netflix. I had gotten rid of it. I watched
Oh.
one bad movie on
Well,
Netflix.
welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. But it's messed up my like For You page
Oh
now.
yeah.
And so it suggested Riverdale to me.
It forgot about you.
It did. It said, "Do you want to watch Riverdale?" And I said, "I sure never did, so why not? Light me up."
Okay.
I am concerned about teen shows now because first off, all of these kids are like 25
Yeah.
playing high school students, and they're all like very attractive. I get that. I don't think that has necessarily changed, but like when I look back on our childhood of like DJ Tanner, like the
yeah.
like Olsen twins, like those, like they look like kids and they were kids and they played their age. And
Right.
now we have like 25-year-olds playing 14-year-olds.
Ooh.
And like one of the first plot lines in this first season was like, so the main kid is Archie. It's based off of the Archie comics. So it's
Yeah.
Archie, Jughead, Betty, Veronica, right? Archie is having an affair with his teacher. And it felt like so much less problematic than that should have been. But he's like, hey, this kid has an affair with the teacher. He, let's see, gets, I think, mixed up in gangs. I don't know if this is the correct order because I have like just let it ride. I'm like half in, half out paying attention because it's kind of one of those shows you don't
Right.
need to fully commit. But it's like, ended up in gangs, ended up his girlfriend's family's like runs a mafia. So he's like into the mafia, goes like kind of does the mafia dirty, ends up in juvenile. While in juvie, he ends up in a secret underground boxing ring where you have to box for your life.
What?
Escapes, decides to run away, gets mauled by a bear, comes
A
back.
bear?
I know. Cult moves into town. The cult has like a whole thing. He has to play this like weird
An
Dungeons
actual.
and Dragons kind of game situation where he gets mauled by a bear again.
Uh,
And then like while trying to outsmart the like mob boss again, gets him in jail. Then his dad dies. But plot twist, Luke Perry was this guy's dad, and I did not know that Luke Perry died. And that's maybe actually my point here is like teen drama's out of control, but the OG teen drama of 90210, I didn't know Luke Perry died. He died in 2019 of a stroke. How terrible.
huh.
The whole episode was like the most normal episode, first of all. I thought, yes, it could be quite traumatic for a teenager to lose his father.
Yeah.
But also at this point, like there's not a therapist in sight in this town. And they've got, by the way, one of the major gangs run by a high school student. Tell me how that makes sense. And he runs it because his dad used to run it, but is now sheriff.
What? Does this have anything? This doesn't sound like the comic at all.
No, I think they just took he's a redhead and his name is Archie.
Because all the comics I ever saw, they were like in the military, right? Archie? Or am I thinking of something else?
No, they were like in a milkshake shop, which they do have. They have a malt shop in this.
I'm definitely
It's just supposed to be high. I mean, the comic was like goofy, like silly Jughead doing something stupid again, right? Like it was from like the 50s, 60s, very wholesome. This is not so wholesome, not so demure, not so elegant.
Just they took it way off base.
Oh, it's so far off base. It's like dark and creepy, and I mean, I'm missing so much. Like I said, there's like the weird like element of this game they all play that has like a gargoyle master that's like manipulating people. Oh, okay, so there's also drugs being sold in town.
Yeah.
Which like relatable, that happens, I guess, but whatever. We obviously, even though we're we're teaching our kids about like gang violence, like mafias, like sex and just everything else. And then the drug element, instead of just calling it like heroin or cocaine or whatever. I don't know if we have to beep those out, but like instead of just calling it a drug, what do you think they called their drug that they're selling? That everyone's really worried about, but might also give you Christmas cheer.
Presents?
Jingle jangle.
Jingle jangle.
Jingle jangle. Everybody's worried about the jingle jangle.
Oh, I'm worried about the jingle jangle.
I couldn't believe
gosh.
it. I was just like,
who wrote this?
I'm 4 seasons deep because I'm so invested at how wild of a like
4 seasons is pretty deep.
4 seasons deep in this because I was like, this is so bad that I can't not see this through.
Oh my goodness.
I am committed to Riverdale more than I've ever been committed to a man in my life. I need to know how it ends. But I put it on while I'm cooking, doing stuff, so I just like let it go. It's crazy. Coming in and out makes it seem even crazier.
See what that old Jughead's up to today.
See what he's at. Oh my gosh. And Lord knows, they like run a school paper as though it's like, they're doing like real investigative journalism for the school paper.
That's cool.
I mean, yeah, great, but also like, no, that doesn't happen. Like, I'm sorry, just like, no, you're not getting into the morgue for a report on the high school paper. That's not happening.
Oh, they're solving crimes.
Oh yeah, it's a whole thing.
They were starting podcasts.
Well, they're solving crimes,
podcasts.
but also like involved in crime. It's very.
Oh, that's just weird.
Well, again, mafias and gangs and all the things. There's just.
I don't like this show.
I don't
like it.
I'm not gonna tell anyone to watch it. I feel like I'm watching it so I can tell people, and just like save someone the time.
Just warning them.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch however many seasons there are, so you don't have to.
Yeah. I'm watching 7. There's 7 seasons, but I'm on 4.
You got a way to go still.
I got a ways to go because I am just on 4.
Yeah.
But that's what's happened. Like, and can I just tell you, we have just gotten to the start of their senior year. All of this has happened to one individual. We are, by the way, like one of the characters owns an underground speakeasy. Again, we have just gotten to the
In
first
high
day of
school.
senior year.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes, exactly. The other one, like writer for the school paper, but runs the like local gang.
Oh, yeah.
The other girl had to shoot her dad because he was a mass murderer and her mom's undercover in the cult. So, I mean,
It's got a little bit of everything.
it really does. It really does.
It sounds like this whole script is just like a joke. They're just having fun. What else can we
They're
do?
like, how crazy can we get this? There
Yeah.
hasn't been like witches and werewolves yet, but we'll get there.
Oh,
I'm
I'm sure they're coming.
I'll update you next week to know
Yeah.
if that element has come in because I feel like that's the one like spooky thing we haven't done
It's the only
yet.
thing
Is get like
left.
it's magic.
It's the next obvious direction.
Just made me feel bad because I was like, oh, they killed off the dad, and then I was like, dang, it was Luke Perry this whole time, and he actually did die, and I had no idea. So that was, it was a bummer. But anyway, don't watch it. Teen dramas are out of control. It feels very like, just feels like too much. Like the parents are less parents, the kids feel like adults, and everything is chaos.
Don't like it.
Only in Ohio.
Yeah.
All right, my friend, we have reached that time of the dinner party. It's time for a nightcap. What do you got, Keith?
We're going back to food because after listening to
love some
Riverdale,
food.
I need some food talk.
Yeah.
There was a study or something by Yelp. This is all based on Yelp.
Yelp study.
Yep. The top pizza places in the Midwest.
Okay.
Indianapolis has the number 2 place.
Heck yeah.
Futuro, if you're ever here and you want to try
That downtown? Where is that at?
I believe it is.
Okay.
Actually, I think it used to be just down the street, but I don't know if they're still there.
Okay.
I think they might have moved.
Well, if they're killing it at number 2 in the Midwest, then
Yeah,
must be popping.
must be. So, yeah, if you're here, you want to try it out, it's the second best pizza you'll find in the Midwest.
Do you know who number 1 was?
No.
You said, what's the best in Indiana and stopped.
It was like, it was an Indiana article.
Come to our podcast for information, but only the information we want to give you. Not all of the information. Just
Number
pieces.
1 was in Illinois. I do know that.
It's definitely in Chicago, right?
Probably.
It's got to be Giordano's.
It's not.
It's not.
Because I did look. It wasn't Giordano's and it wasn't
So
Lou's.
it's probably a mom and pop.
Probably. Yeah. I wonder if I can do like a quick.
Can I just say, so I used to not love Chicago style pizza. Now I really do, but I have to be in the mood for it because it is often so much cheese.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Giordano's is really good. And I'm sure that's more of like as fast food of a Chicago style pizza as you can get versus like a real true like Chicago style
All right.
somewhere. But I
found
feel
it.
very like Dave Portnoy about it. I think I could do my own
Wait a
pizza
minute.
test.
Maybe I was wrong. It's not Chicago.
I hope it's St. Louis. Better not be Detroit. I don't like Detroit style pizza. Nobody said more pizza sauce. That's just not something anybody's ever asked for.
Sorry, it wasn't Illinois at all.
Okay.
It's in Hazel Park, Michigan.
Oh, good for Michigan.
Louis Pizza.
It probably is Detroit.
Oh,
is
yeah,
it
there's a-
Detroit style pizza though?
I mean, it's a rectangle.
Fun fact: the family-owned restaurant has been serving up Detroit style pizza. Yeah, no, see, BS.
Yeah. Well, I'm
called
pretty
BS
sure
on
that's
this.
what Futuro is. It's Detroit style.
Really? See, I don't like the extra sauce. I don't want extra sauce. That's like the last thing I want.
Now that Pequod's Pizza in Chicago, that looks like a
On board.
casserole or something.
On board. It looks amazing, is what it looks
Is that
like.
asparagus?
You know what? Maybe I need to give Detroit style pizza like a second go because I gave Chicago style a second go and I love it. So
Well, I got a
pizza is
recommendation.
just a really good food.
good recommendation for you.
Okay.
You can go to Futuro.
Ah, I just heard about that.
Yeah, you can try it out.
I was listening to a podcast and they mentioned it.
Yeah,
so.
they did.
Beautiful. All right.
So
Well,
that's
We need to wrap up then because I'm going to Futuro. I need to go get some pizza.
I'm actually hungry. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining us on another episode of our Dinner Party podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye.